Today, we're going to reveal to you the transformation that took place in our front entry and stairwell. We did it super easily and affordably, and you can too, so let's go.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Good to see you here. Thank you for joining me here again in this series on how to refresh an older home easily and affordably. Today is probably the biggest statement that we're gonna make in this front entryway. I am going to tackle the stairs. It is gonna be a little bit labor intensive. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this dated, stained look of our stairs and I am going to refresh it by painting the entire staircase.
Hi guys, it's Christine and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, we'd love for you to subscribe down below. We post videos every week on tips, tricks, and hacks for your life, home, and adventures. Today is part 3 of our series on how to update an old home. If you've been following along, we've been working on our front foyer of our home. It's about 25 years old, and the last 2 weeks we started with the doors. We updated them, and then we did the hardware. I will link those videos up here. The whole point of this series has been to show you guys how you can make small changes in your home that have big impact. I'm so excited to show you the transformation. I'm sure you can see it behind me. Just paint and a little bit of hard work, and this place looks like a totally new upscale front entry. So I'm gonna let Chris take it away and show you the process.
It's a pretty simple process. I simply have to remove the stain that's on there, and because it's 25 years old, the finish on it is beginning to get a little bit sticky and it's starting to look a little bit damaged and worn in places. So I'm simply gonna hit the entire staircase all the way up with a sander. I have an orbital palm sander. I'm gonna use a rough grit, like about 120 grit sandpaper. I'm gonna take off the finish and take off the stain, take it down to the wood. That'll definitely take me a couple of hours. And then once that's done to the entire staircase, the railing and all of the spindles, I'm going to paint it. Once the painting is done, I'm gonna do a number of coats and I'm going to sand it with a really fine grit wet dry sandpaper just to get it nice and smooth. Once that step is done, I'm gonna finish the whole project by putting several coats of a polyurethane sealant to protect that paint, to make it super hard and so it'll stand up to the wear and tear of people constantly walking up and down and using the railing. What I love about this project is I don't have to bring in a professional. I don't have to hire someone. I don't have to get any expensive equipment. And really the real investment here is the time it's gonna take and the paint. And so why don't you watch along as I tackle this project. It's probably gonna happen over the course of a couple of days here, but we're gonna get started right now with the sanding. Okay, so now I am several days into this project and I thought I would check in just to let you know what I've been doing, some of the tools I've been using, and where we're at in the process right now. As you can see, I've got some primer on there. I would say I'm a little more than halfway done the project in regards to how many hours it's gonna take. What I've done so far is I've sanded everything down to the wood and I've put on a coat of primer sealer. When Christine posted what we were doing on her stories, she had a number of people comment, why aren't you just priming it? Simple answer, we've done that before. We've gotten primers that say they are capable of sticking to oil-based finishes and glossy finishes, and we've trusted that and have been burned. There have been a number of projects where we've primed, we've painted, only to discover that the paint isn't sticking, that it scrapes right off. So to be safe, to save time in the long run, I decided to just put in the work and sand it down to the wood and prime it from there. I want to talk about a couple of the tools that I've been using. What you saw in the time lapse there was just like the first sort of hour of me working away. I've added some tools to the repertoire to get this job done properly. First, I want to go over safety equipment. To save my knees, I have these knee pads here. You always want to have eye protection. You only get one set of eyes. I don't take a chance. Eye protection. What I found is I was using these goggles or these glasses, and I found that even though I was wearing these, I was still getting dust in the eyes. They were getting in behind the glasses. So I went out and I purchased these goggles, which are fully sealed all the way around. These were much better. Eye protection is a must. The other thing I added was I started using my respirator here. After a couple of hours of sanding and breathing in the dust, I started to feel really congested. I probably should have been using this from the very beginning. The first sander I was using, well, the one in the time lapse was my palm sander, but then I decided to switch to this belt sander. It's pretty heavy duty, and what I ended up doing was every stair, I would start with the belt sander. This is a 60 grit belt on here, and I would just hog off a lot of material to begin with, get all that stain and get it down to the wood. It would do it pretty fast, but it didn't get into all the corners. I would just do sort of a rough sand with this belt sander. After doing the belt sander, I would switch to the palm sander. What I ended up doing here is I have this hose. I have one of those vacuum hose drywall sanders, and I took the hose off of the drywall sander and I attached it to my palm sander, and then I hooked this end up to my shop vac and turned it on, and that actually reduced the dust in my house by about 80 or 90%. That was a game changer in this project. After I was done with the belt sander, I would come along and get it all down with about an 80 grit with my palm sander. Finally, when I was done with the belt sander and the palm sander, there were always little corners and areas that weren't done, that I couldn't reach in with those two tools. So I had this little sanding mouse, this Ryobi sanding mouse. It's not great for sanding big areas. It doesn't work particularly fast. However, because of the shape of the head and its size, it can get into corners, along edges, and around things that are usually really difficult to sand with a palm sander or a belt sander. Once I had done the sanding, I primed everything. That took quite a while. It took a long time to prime each one of these. It's quite a long process. So far, I'm about 20 hours into this project. It's cost me very little so far. And anyways, we're gonna continue on, and I'm about to paint. I'm about to start painting now, and I'll check back in once we are done with paint. All right, welcome back to the final update of this project before I reveal to you the end result. I have painted all my balusters and my newel posts white. I've painted the risers white. You can see I've painted the handrails black, and the only thing left is for me to paint the treads black. I wanted to just give you one tip. If you're going to take on a project like this, take the time, go through the tedious process of masking everything with tape to ensure that you get crisp, sharp transitions between your different colors of paint. Yesterday, I spent about 6 hours masking everything off. It was boring, it was monotonous, but I believe the end result is going to be fantastic. Look, this is a big job, but it is going to make a bold statement in this room, and all it's cost me is some time and some paint. And if you're willing to put in the time, you can make huge, bold, and dramatic statements in your home without breaking the bank. So I just wanted to leave that tip with you, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish this project off. I'm gonna get these stairs painted, and then I'm gonna show you how everything looks. I'll see you back soon.
Well, there you have it, friends. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you not only like the transformation that you've seen, but that you've been inspired, that you too can make these small changes that will have huge impact and add value to your home. We're excited to carry on this series in the new year. We're going to take a little break to regroup as a family and to enjoy some downtime, but we'll be back in January with some more great videos. We're going to carry on this series. We've had some great feedback, so we have lots of projects and great ideas that we're doing here that we want to share with you on how you can continue to do small changes for big impact in your home. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting us. Merry Christmas, and we wish you a Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2020. Bye.